people are harping on these things.
Well, I'll tell you why, because internationally there is great concern that journalists who write perhaps critical pieces about your government end up in serious trouble, and some of them end up dead, as you well know.
These are LTT propaganda. These are propaganda by the people who are against the government. So the international community goes on.
No, forgive me, it's not propaganda that Lasantha Wickrematunge, for example, the editor of the Sunday Leader, was assassinated on the streets of the capital. That's not propaganda.
No, read.
Wickrematunge wrote his valedictory piece. He foretold his own death. He wrote this. He said, and this is just days before he was shot dead on the streets of Colombo, "Murder," he said, "has become the primary tool whereby the state seeks to control the organs of liberty."
Don't go by these people who are writing against. You know, there are enough people.
He's not writing
today,
anymore. He's dead.
I can quote enough, I can show you enough papers written against President of America or the Prime Minister of UK.
Well, of course you can. And so when I criticize the government of Britain, I do not end up with a bullet in the head.
Criticize what's important of him.
Well, people think he was killed for what he wrote, and I guess for a lot of people that's important.
There are other people. If you are saying that he was criticizing the government, he was criticizing all the past presidents, all the past prime ministers, everybody he was criticizing. So anybody can kill him. If that is the argument, that anybody of that can kill him, because he was criticizing those people than the present government. It was his style. It's a tabloid. You know. Now he criticized me. I went to court.
But you must have seen the...
I went to court. That is the correct thing to do. Isn't it the correct thing to do?
Wickrematunge's murder sent shockwaves through the country. So did the chilling editorial addressed to Sri Lanka's president, in which he blames shadowy forces for his death.
Were you concerned at all by the assassination of editor Lasantha Wickrematunge?
Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa is the president's brother.
I don't want to comment on this, but if you want to ask me, he has antagonized so many people. Why then put on this government? For the last so many years, he had criticized take the present opposition leader, take the previous president, take anybody in this country. He had not criticized, he had reported, wrong things on them.
What do you think that this government sees, though, as the proper role for journalists?
Right now, I think they would just want journalists to quote government communiques.
Let me ask you, sir, what do you consider the proper role for a journalist in a time of war?
Do the correct thing, act responsibly as a citizen of this country. Look, if you take two words, media freedom, it's very beautiful, very nice. Who can object that? I love it. President loves it. We will support it. Free media. Take two words, nice two words. But remember, when you act you have to think of the situation that we are facing. In that situation, when you take media, they have a different role to play. They should act responsibly. They must take the country first, not these two words, free media.
In the name of patriotism, you have trampled on human rights.
For slain newspaper editor Lasantha Wickrematunge, media freedom was at the heart of democracy. And he made it clear in his final editorial addressed to the president that it's non-negotiable, even in death.
As for me, it is with a clear conscience that I go to meet my Maker. I wish, when your time finally comes, you could do the same. I wish.